Hello. Welcome to my video, and today, i-discuss natin yung frequency distribution table or FDT in short. So, specifically, i-discuss lang natin is quantitative FDT because it has a lot of computations. Well, not that many computations, it's fairly easy, but if you listen carefully, maintindihan nyo to, okay? So, basically, FDT is basically just organized group of data. So what that means is nilalagay sila sa mga classes or sets just like this. Yan, nakalagay yung data sa sets and nakikita yung frequency ng isang data dun sa set na yun. Ito is for example dito, meron tayong dito lang sa example na to, may total of 50 types of data or raw data. There are 50 raw data. Now, in order to organize that data, yung gumawa ng frequency distribution table na to, kinut up yung data into groups. So ito, kinut up niya into groups of 5 with an interval of 3 kasi 7, 8, 9. So 7, 8, 9. Yan, tapos may dalawang raw data nagfo-fall under sa 7, 8, and 9. So basically ganun lang naman sa FDT. Marami pang nasa header nito pero don't worry, explain natin yan. Okay, so ngayon, since we now have a sense of understanding as to what a frequency distribution table is, we're going to now move on the steps on how to create one. Alright, so the first step on how to create an FDT is to determine the range. So determine the range is basically we're just going to see the difference between the highest or the most valuable number of data to the lowest value of data. So for example, tayo dito sa drawing screen natin. So for example, meron kayong group of data. Ayan. Say mga ganyan. Ngayon, kukunin natin yung highest value. Let's say 100. Highest value 100 and the lowest value is 60. So yung range is basically the highest number dun sa data set minus nasa lowest. So in this case, yung range natin is 40. So for example lang naman yun. Okay? So, balik tayo dito. Next. So, determine the number of classes. So, based on the name naman, i-determine lang natin kung ilang classes yung ilalagay natin sa frequency distribution table natin. So, dito sa, first example. So, yung number of classes dito is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And nakukuha natin yung number of classes using either of these two formulas. So, meron na atang tawag dito. Tawag dito ay Sturge's approximation. Yan. Okay, ngayon sa Sturge's approximation, ito yun. Hindi ko alam kung pareha siya dito kasi hindi ito na-discuss sa amin. So, ito yung Sturge's approximation. So, it's 1 plus 3.322 logarithmic n. So, yung n is the number of data. So, baba tayo dito. So, ito. Meron ditong table of data. So basically yung n is the amount of data. So dito sa data na to, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So merong 40 na number of data. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blah blah blah, 40 yan. Okay, so basically yun lang yung ilalagay nyo dito sa formula na to. And kapag ginamit nyo yung formula na yan, so try nyo rin. So 1 plus 3.322 logarithmic 40. So yung number is 40. So you should get 6.322. Pero kapag dito sa number of classes, kapag ginamit itong formula na to, always round up, okay? Okay, so next naman is determine the class size. So basically, ano yung class size? Yung class size, yung gaano kalaki yung isang class. So for example dito sa previous. So yung mga class size dito sa table na to is 3. Bakit? Kasi kung titingnan naman natin from visually just looking at it and using basic logic, so bilangan natin 7, 8, 9. So may tatlo. Dito din naman 10, 11, 12, may tatlo rin. Tapos dito rin sa 13, 14, 15, yan, may tatlo rin. So basically, yun lang yung class size. Kung gaano kalaki yung isang class, okay? So basic lang naman yan. So to get the class size, it's the range, which is ito, divided by Sturge's approximation, okay? Alright, next is enumerate the classes or categories. So, enumerate lang. Wait lang, titignan ko lang dito kung parehas. Ayan, so enumerate. Enumerate mo lang yung kanina, katulad lang dito, nasa determine the number of classes. So, enumerate mo lang. So, ilan yung classes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, basically, 5. Okay? Alright. Next is tally the observations and complete the table. So, doon na tayo pupunta ngayon. Okay? So, yan. Okay. So, gamitin natin tong data na ginamit nyo sa lesson nyo. Okay, so lipat tayo dito. So, first step pala sa paggagawa ng frequency distribution table na gusto kong gawin lagi is to organize the data from lowest to highest. Kasi kapag magulo yan, mahirapan kayo magbilang. Kung ano yung frequency ng isang dataset, kung ano yung lowest or highest number. So, I'll just quickly set this from lowest to highest. Okay, i-write down ko siya dito sa aking iPad. Sa aking iPad. So, yan. Dito ko isusulat siya. Okay? So, ayan. So, na-organize ko na siya into basta yung naka lowest to highest. So, yan. So, recommendation ko lang naman yun. So, hindi ko naman kayo pinipilit na gawin yan, pero para sa akin mas madali yan. Okay, so gawin na natin yung steps natin kanina. Okay, so the first is the range. So the highest number, which is this, minus the lowest number, so which is 18. So lagay lang natin sila sa formula natin. So 80 minus 18 is equals to, it's 62. So the range is 62. So, yun yung range ng data natin. Next, yung class, number of classes. So, ilan ba yung data natin dito? So, meron tayong 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, 8 times 5 is equals to 40. So, tip ko lang yan kung gusto nyo malaman kagad yung number of data na meron kayo. So, meron tayong 40 amounts of data dyan sa dataset natin. So, ilalagay lang natin siya dito sa formula natin. So, solve lang natin really quickly. So, 1 plus 3 plus 3, 2, 2. So, try nyo to sa calculator nyo. Log 40. Okay, check ko lang kung ano siya. 2.322 oops plus 3.322 logarithmic 40. So, it's equals to 6.322043291. And sabi ko nga kanina, kapag ganito, kahit anong decimal man yan, always round up. Okay, so this will be an equivalent of 7. So, 7 yung number of classes natin. Okay? Next. Class size. Okay, so kukunin lang natin tong range and itong nakuha natin for number of classes and we're just gonna divide them, okay? So, the range, which is, oops, di ko naalala. So, 62 divided by 7. Okay, so 62 divided by 7 is equals to 8.8571 kung ano-ano man yan. So, ano yan, actually depende. Hindi ko lang sure 100% kung lagi ding ira-round up yung class size. Pero since ano naman siya above 4, itong decimal natin, so ira-round natin siya sa 9. So magra-round lang tayo usually. So diba 2, 4, 5, ay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, kapag yung decimal natin, so sabihin natin 1.1, hindi natin yan i-round off kasi 1 lang yan. So, magra-round off lang tayo kapag greater than 4. So, pag 1.4 yan, kung whole number lang yung hinahanap, magiging 1 lang yan. Kung 1.5 naman yung hinahanap, tapos sinasabi round the number, magiging 2 yan. Okay? So, ganun lang yun. So, kunyari, isa pang example, 1.2, sinabi i-round mo, magiging 1 lang yan. Okay? So, yan lang naman. Simpleng elementary mathematics.